Appreciate you being here. Coming off the game there Saturday night, really pleased going back and watching the film, and you're seeing just positive strides. We challenged our guys last week with the way that they prepared, the mindset which they brought into the game. We wanted to go out and play a complete game. We had not done that throughout the early part of the season, and I thought the guys embraced the challenge. Started off with a bang on the kickoff return. Really big for our special teams unit. Something we've kind of hammering away at. Trey did a great job of trusting what he had in front of him. Broke a couple tackles. Some really key blocks that helped spring it, and I thought that was big. Also had an 18-yard punt return, which is something that we needed to see. I thought Micah did a nice job throughout the night fielding the balls that he could field, but really got off to a great start in that game. A dominant first half. You're going into halftime, 31-0 was big. I thought the defense really played fast. It was good, seeing with some, even with some guys that were out in the game, really seeing players step up. I thought guys like Josh Farmer played his best game. Jarrett Jackson really showed up. Patrick Payton, Derek McClendon, Dennis Briggs, all those guys up front really did some nice things. I thought our linebackers played fast. I thought Jamie Robinson, really flashed when he's out there on the field. But it was going back and watching tape. I thought he played at a really high level. There throughout the course of the game. We knew the skill players that they had. A quarterback that was experienced and talented. And but I thought all in all our defense was really good throughout the course of the evening. Offensively. I thought. I'm pleased with what we're doing. Just the buy-in from the entire group. We were able to show good balance. Boston College did a good job of condensing some things in the run game there early. Jordan was exceptional. Played at a very high level. Once again, another receiver really jumped out there. Darion had a great first half. Ended up kind of getting banged up. Wasn't able to finish the game, but you had almost 100 yards receiving there in the first half. Just everybody making the most of their opportunities, and able to spring some runs. You had some explosive runs that showed up throughout the course of the game. And just like I said, more than anything else, it was just the mindset that I was most pleased with, and just the way the guys approached the week and how that was able to carry over on game day. And we're excited about the week that's ahead, and another opportunity to be here at home. Another opportunity to take another step with where we're trying to get to within our program, and the confidence of seeing the work that was invested last week in practice and how that applied out there, on the field Saturday night. We need to continue to push there. And I thought last night we had great meetings. We had a great practice in the short practice that we had. But I like where our guys where they are mentally. But we got to continue to push in all other areas. But we got a great opponent that's coming in. They're coming off just an incredible football game. They came up a little bit short there at the end. But this is a very talented team that we're going to play, and they've got great experience. They've got guys that play extremely hard. They're very well coached. So excited for the opportunity that we have in front of us, and got to go get better this week.
All right, first question will be Ira to your right.
A lot of times, receivers have a perception in football of being divas or whatever.
No, I was a receiver, just so you know.
But the team you coach. It seems like these guys are a little bit different. I mean, they seem to embrace the physicality, the dirty work, things like that. Is that something learned, or is that something you guys identified when you brought some of these guys in?
Well, we want guys that truly aspire to be their best in all. And playing receiver, you never know how many opportunities you're going to get. But on every play, you have an opportunity to make an impact. And that's what I love, and the way that our guys are approaching each game and each rep is that one of my favorite plays in the games was on Darion's tunnel. I know he gets mentioned a lot, but watch Johnny Wilson blocking 50 yards down the field. Pretty impressive. You see the mentality of guys. thought Micah had a really good game and was able to make some big catches and tough runs. I mentioned Darion earlier. Kentron, with his first touchdown. I mean, there's a lot of things that go beyond just with ball in hand, but that are impactful to the game. And our guys want to be successful. Yeah, they care about each other. They care about the success that our running backs have. They care about the success of the offense. Everybody wants the ball. That's a given. But when you're willing to make the investment and to do the dirty work, to allow the offense to be able to go, it does benefit them, because when you can run the football, when you can do those things, you're going to get tighter play to the line of scrimmage, which creates more one-on-one matchups, which gives better opportunities to push the ball down the field. So, I'm glad that our guys, they embrace that mindset. And like I mentioned last week, I think Coach Dugas is doing a great job with them. And, they're showing up when they get their numbers called there in the passing game as well.
Did Boston College defend Johnny the way you thought they might after the game against Louisville? Did you see any shift in coverage towards him that maybe you hadn't seen prior?
They had a little. I mean, they played a little bit more cover two there early and certain things, but ultimately I don't know if it was necessarily just for Johnny, or it was just a big picture approach of variations of what they wanted to show. But it's one of those things that everybody's going to try to take away something, and it was the way things worked out. I mean, Cam was able to get a couple plays over the middle when the safety was playing a little bit wider. It's got to all play off of each other, and it's just kind of the way the flow of the game went. So I don't know if it was specifically their plan, but it's where, as a quarterback and all skill guys, you never know when that's on any given call or with each opportunity of how somebody's going to try to defend you, but you got to take what they're giving you. And I thought Jordan did a great job of that, and it really helped kind of spark the offense.
From the Christine over here.
On Jordan, how impressed were you with how he pushed through last week to play? How did he feel on Sunday? And also, how good of a job is he doing keeping his eyes downfield and being a passer first?
I mean, he did a great job, and I touched on it just after the game. I mean, it was impressive seeing him get to Wednesday, and he was very, very limited there on Tuesday, and then but he was getting he got treatment so much from last weekend all the way up, and then when I saw him out there Wednesday moving around, and just even though he was still not full go, but I felt very confident where that would progress to, and to go in and play the way that he did, it just speaks volumes to the preparation that he's putting in. And I think that he's coming out of the game, he felt great. Was able to practice yesterday. We continue to push him. I mean, I think you saw you get the adrenaline going, and just some of those reactionary things. I mean, that one run that he had was remarkable, and he's very confident in what he sees. He had the early play, coming out of the end zone where he scrambled and was able to put the ball over to Darion. And then, later on, I think it might have been that same drive where he scrambled and, everybody pushed back and stayed in coverage, and he was able to get a 15, 16-yard run based off of it. So, that's the balance. He has great athletic ability, but, he is what he's able to do with his arm and trusting the rhythm, trusting the his guys that are out on the perimeter. It's pretty special to see.
So here's for Brendan.
You guys have talked about Darion coming on for a little while now. You've been excited about him. For him to get into the game and get that kind of production, I guess, is that big for him moving forward? And then I guess, how's it feeling? Will he be available this week?
Yeah, I think each experience allows you to build confidence, and we've all watched it in practice. Even though he's been limited in his availability, we've talked about that here earlier in the season. But to see him do that in game day, and really in one half, I mean, he was, I think, at five catches for almost 100 yards, and it was, I think, he maybe played, it was 8 to 10 plays that he was actually in. But he's capitalizing on them. So those opportunities are going to continue to grow, because you see the confidence that's building in him as a player. Coming out of the weekend, we'll continue to see how he progresses throughout this week. I mean, I'm hopeful that he'll be able to be available. But even if not, there's a lot of things that he should be very confident in by what he's been able to do. I think he's got a great future in front of him, and it's definitely exciting to see him making those plays.
You had a couple players, Lovett and First out on Saturday. How big of it for someone like Patrick Payton and others to step up in a game like that? Where your defense probably played, like you said, its most complete game.
I think it's huge, and I mean, we pride ourselves in the development of the depth that we have and that competitiveness to be able to play multiple guys. And when you see guys really forced into bigger roles, for them seizing those opportunities, I mean, it's huge. And like I said, Pat is he's got a world of talent, and as he's getting out and getting more and more play, he's been very impactful. Whether it was there in the Louisville game last week, and what I love is that even coming out of the game, I mean he was pretty irritated that he missed out on finishing some sacks and some opportunities that he had. Now it's all right. Well, why did that happen? Now what are the things we need to do to get better as we're pushing this week? And so you really feel that hunger, and it's not just him, but it's collectively as a team. That I mean, if you're getting opportunities, you're crossing that white line to go play and to make an impact, and let's go be our best. And that's where you saw a big jump from Josh Farmer, even in the reps that he had against Louisville, to what he did this past week. I mean, you saw him playing faster. Same thing with JJ. Guys that are very talented, but now pushed into playing larger roles. We need that type of continued growth, and they're working very hard, and they know that this team is counting on them and depending on them to play at a high level.
You called it a complete game, especially for the defense. What do you think that can do for their confidence going into them? And you talked about the talented and experienced Wake Forest offense they're about to go up against.
Well, I mean, you see preparation carrying over into the game, and some of the issues that showed up in the earlier weeks were communication. Making sure guys trusting their fundamentals. You're taking what they saw and being able to apply that in a very quick and decisive manner. This week we're going to play, Wake is going to play as fast as anybody that we play. I mean, they're going to push the tempo. We're going to have to be on point with our communication. We're going to have to make sure that we're playing with great fundamentals and with relentless pursuit. And what they do is challenging. They're going to put a lot of guys in conflict and responsibility, but you got to trust each other to do your job. And when you get a chance to make a play, we got to go make the plays. And I think our defense is they're building in their confidence throughout the year, and we're seeing guys that are playing fast. I thought it was the fastest that we played, and we've seen those flash moments. I mean, but getting a guy like Azari Thomas getting in and being able to have some of those. I mean, you watched him on the reverse, and you saw his closing speed. Those are good plays to have, and you see guys trusting their eyes and just the natural reactions that they're having. So we're going to get to continue to build on that, and like I said, have a great week of prep.
Hey, Coach, I'll be the one to ask. With Hurricane Ian just kind of hanging out right now, how do you prepare this week? Is it business as normal until otherwise, and do you guys have kind of alternate plans? Do you have an idea of what will happen this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Alford has been in conversation, and the administration and the university has been in conversations, even with the ACC last night of having alternate plans ready. It's something we talked to the team about last night, that we were going to make sure that nobody knows exactly what is going to occur as a week goes on, but our plan, we are prepping for this game, and we will have plans in place if anything does occur that needs to alter that. But right now that's all of our focus, and making sure that guys understand that we will always have a plan in place for them, and then obviously just the thoughts with everybody within the state, just of the potential of what's coming, and just thoughts and prayers with all that's coming through towards the end of the week.
Just a follow-up, do you know when the decision would be made, if one has to be made?
That's the administration and conference and everybody that they're controlling that. I don't have any control with it, so I'm going to focus on just making sure our guys are prepared for tomorrow, and I trust our administration and all the planning and everybody that's tracking that situation.